Good morning, y'all. Coach, thank you so much for doing this. We should have a couple more people hopping on, but for now, Jayla, if you have any questions, you can go ahead.
Um, I guess one question I do have is I know for a few players in the locker room, this will be their first Olympics that they'll be going to. So I kind of just want to know what the excitement level's been like in the locker room, and has there been any like encouragement from those who have been before, and what that's been like leading up to the Olympics.
Yeah, I think everybody is excited for an Olympics, whether you've been to the Olympics before, any world championship before, or this is your first time. It is an exciting thing and something that most athletes and coaches work towards their whole life. So I think the level of excitement is equal, but in different ways. And I also just think we're at a really unique time in the history of US soccer. I mean, we've just gone through, a almost 9 month interim period. We've regrouped. We have a new head coach in Emma Hayes. There's a lot of excitement around what this group can do together here at the Olympics, getting ready for the Olympics. And also in the future, that there's a bit of a new era, I would say. And so there's excitement all around.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I know you had the Impact 99 match yesterday, so I just want to know what was how did it feel to get that win for something that I believe it was the 25th anniversary, and just how the game has grown with women's soccer from 25 years ago to now.
Yeah, I think winning is always important. There's never a time where it's not important. So getting a win is always a big thing, and it was a good step for us towards the Olympics against an opponent that we faced recently and had a different result. I think anytime you can be around the 99ers, that's a really special thing. It's a really unique group of women who've done incredible things, not just for the sport, but women around the world. And there's an aura around them that you can just feel. It's palpable. So to have those women around, our current squad, our current players, not just at the match, but actually spending time with us in the hotel, discussing what it means to be a member of this very special team, our DNA, and even giving a little bit of advice was really incredible. I actually was in the stands in the final in 99 watching that game, and that energy that you could feel at the time was really special. I think that's a group that's been charged with or accredited maybe with kind of turning on the lights for America about what women's soccer could be, and thus around the world. And that energy that I felt in the stadium that day, you could still feel around this group. So I would say, they are empowering this generation to be their own version of this modern version of this very special thing that's kind of always existed. And it's really, really neat to see them kind of sort of pass the torch.
And how prepared does the team feel going into the Olympics, especially having these last few matches before you guys head off to France?
Yeah, I think this is a group that believes in getting ready and staying ready. Obviously, unique challenges with coming off a long interim period in between two tournaments, a World Cup, a long interim period, and then really the beginning of a new era right at the cusp of the start of an Olympics. But I think that this group feels very prepared. I'm very proud of that. I think that we're in a really good place. It was perfect timing for Emma to come in and take over and impose her tactics and her style of play with a group that was really ready for it. And we're always up for world championships. I mean, this is what they've been training for their whole lives. And the fact that it's finally here, it's a really good timing for us.
And what's the excitement like for you as a coach and being able to be in a role and help lead them to possibly get to win some gold at the Olympics?
You know, just watching people grow and improve and be the best version of themselves consistently is just a really special thing. It's an honor to walk side by side with people as they compete at this level and help them. I think just the fact that we're in a place where I know we're in a good place to compete means a lot to me. And I will do everything I can to help empower individuals, individual players, groups of players, the full team, especially the squad, and especially support Emma as she leads us.
So has there kind of been like a message with the team that kind of keeps you guys like uplifted and going into every match and then going into this big competition in a few weeks? Has there been anything of that sort?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that kind of stand out. Playing to our strengths, playing with joy, that we're never alone in this. And Emma's cultivating a lot of messages that are currently being formed. And I don't want to speak too much on those things. But this is a team that knows how to and believes it will always find a way. And that's something in our DNA that we'll never lose. Or actually, I should say that we'll always have.
Thank you.
So what in your time in like playing college kind of helped prepare you for such a like long and impressive coaching career?
One of the reasons I actually chose University of Arizona is I was exposed to Lisa through Region 4 ODP. Lisa Frazier was the coach that recruited me there, and Bruce Karras, her late husband. And they were also working with coaching education at the time in the state of Arizona. So I knew Arizona was a place I could play, be a part of the Pac-10, be a part of, something special, be connected with a female coach that had wanted to help grow the game in many different ways, and that I could potentially start earning my licenses while I was there. And I did, in fact, coach the entire time. I was also a player at the University of Arizona in the local Tucson community. I worked in the Foothills Soccer Club. I worked at South Point High School. I worked all of our camps, and I continued to work for the club that I grew up in back at home. So yeah, I think just being around, coaches that wanted to help, other people go on to coach after playing was important. I spent a lot of time, watching like the managers of the men's basketball program at the time. And some of them have gone on to, coach. Josh Pastner is someone that comes to mind. And just watching the way that their program operated was a really special thing for me, I think, as a coach, seeing the level of organization and the ability that the effect that an individual could have on an individual's playing career. And it didn't matter what the title was. Just such a well-organized machine. They had won a national championship during the time I was being recruited. And I watched a lot of those, those players and managers that became coaches kind of grow up at the time. And I think it was a really high standard, and it's something I often think about when I think about organization and motivation and, what it takes to be great.
Awesome. Can you speak a little bit about your time as interim head coach for the U.S. Women's National Team and just what that was like and what that meant?
Yeah, it was unexpected, not in the sense that you might be asked to be interim head coach because, there's going to be someone that does that, but the length of time, it was something that kind of evolved over time, and it was just a great experience. We had a rough World Cup. We needed to rebound and regroup, not just rebound, but regroup from that and kind of set a new direction. We said goodbye to some legends in terms of Pino and JJ Ertz. And, that was an interesting time. And then we onboarded a lot of new young players, less experienced players, as we call them. And that's not easy to do while competing, but over the course of several games, got a lot of these players that are now going to feature at this Olympics, which is very exciting. Their first minutes, their first exposures to this environment. And that was really important. And of course, not just winning 2 tournaments, but in the way that we went through some of the bumps in the road and some of the things that we had to address head on, I think have put us in a really good place moving into the Olympics. So, having to recover from a loss, penalty kicks late in games, shootouts to win games, different types of opponents, and being able to do that while layering in multiple systems and tactics has just, I think, put us in a really good place to be where we are. And it was a pretty seamless transition with Emma stepping in now putting the finishing touches on.
Awesome. And then I'll wrap it up with this one, just kind of a fun one. What are you looking forward to at the Olympics?
I'm looking forward to seeing this group compete at its best. I think this is a group, maybe use the word finishing touches, but the truth is we have a long way to go, and Emma's layering in some of the finishes for the Olympics and also some of the basics for the long term. And there's always two things going on at once here. So I think just watching this group continue to grow. We've talked a lot about how it's a group that's just getting started, and I'm just looking forward to supporting them and this coaching staff as we move forward, and putting us in the best position possible that we can, doing my part to put us in the best position possible to be successful.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate you taking the time so much, and great. Good luck in Paris.
Thank you very much, and thanks for your time, you guys.